Okay, let's get this show on the road. This is What's Up Dave for Tuesday, May 23rd. This is the live stream in which I just catch up with my friends every day, say what I'm working on, share some of what's going on here in my living room studio cafe thing. So it looks like we have audio coming in, so I think we're good to go. Let me just close it. It's all the way on this other screen over there. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so what are we doing today? I have said that, looking at the notes here in the chat side, I wanted to look at, I've been looking at, this is like a web browser show and tell thing. Let me switch to the screen cam. And I've been looking at, something called Pivotal Tracker. Someone emailed me about some of the work that I had done. Oops, I'm still logged into this. How can I fix that? So Pivotal Tracker is let's say a software management tool. I just tried to run Firefox here. I'm not logged into it. Pivotal Tracker. And I can't spell. Tracker. Oh, fucking ads. I guess that's alright. So it's a project management software, and we've been using something, or I've been looking at some other tools in this area, for like Jira and Target Process, and we found them a little bit too heavyweight to use. But looking at this one actually seems kind of neat. Unfortunately, let's see. And so I've set up an account with them. I don't know if you can hear this. It seems to have a lot of like well-written help, and the user experience is pretty good. I mean, this isn't. What I liked about it was the user experience seemed pretty clean. So this would allow you to, so I just created my 1701 repo, or tracker repo, just to see what this was like. You basically can toggle on a bunch of stuff here. So your backlog is like the things that need to be done. These are user stories. And you can double click them to see more about them. You can also toggle on these other ice boxes, things that are done, epics. So the nice thing about the left side, instead of actually taking it to a whole new view, is you can actually toggle these on and off at will. And this seems really clean to me, as opposed to something like Target Process, which you had to define your own views and like they're cumbersome. This is more opinionated about what the development process should be. So it's very story centric. So I'm kind of impressed by this. I'm going to give this a try with this my open source game project. And the other thing I was looking at is this thing called Momentum. Let's see if I can find the web page for this. Momentum-.com. Someone in the chat room mentioned this. Who was it? Let me check and link dump over here. Momentum. Who mentioned this? Madras. Yeah, Madras mentioned this, I think. Yeah, so this was like a nice reference. What it allows you to do is it basically replaces your Chrome tab background. So this has a little clock in it, and you can add to-do lists. This is my to-do list for the day. You can add additional to-dos. This is free. There's a premium version that's something like $2 or $3 a month. So for the year, it's like 30 bucks. And it's just very nice. You can check things off when you're done. I'm not sure if there's a history for it. I don't know. But it seems promising. It's like what I'm liking is the clean design. It has a nice feel to it. I'm always opening my browser anyway for things. Calling this, I showed this yesterday, I'm calling myself Sri here because that's like the RP character that I have. I just want to see how it would feel. Which reminds me, I need to print out a picture for this. So this is kind of a neat tool. You know, so these are two tools that I think like are nicely designed and are focused and don't have the typical boxes and boxes and boxes and lists and lists and lists view. This fits within my aesthetic better. But what I want to do is, like, you know, if I'm going to call myself Sri in this, I might as well put out a picture of Sri. For that, I need this camera, or this printer. And after I get this printed, I'll go into the show and tell. So this purse-like thing is a case, actually, for this printer. I think it's designed for, like, maybe Instagrammers, the whole case thing. I just thought there was a cool leather case, and when I got it, I said, huh, this is basically a purse for the printer. But let's take a look at this. So let's go over here, move this thing down, let's open this up. So this is a Fujifilm Instax printer. I've shown this before. The way it works is, like, I can't open it because there's film in it, but it takes these kind of Polaroid style instant film cartridges. And they're really tiny. It prints like a 2x3 thing. So you turn it on. Hopefully it's charged. Yep, so it's charged. It's lit up. Let's move this down a little bit so we can get a cool action view of this. And then what I need to do is actually connect to my camera. And there's an Instax app, but first I need to actually connect to this using the Wi-Fi. And it shows up here as Instax 0233. So now I'm connected to this device. Once I'm connected to this device, I can actually run the Instax app here. And it's a little bit confusing, so I can select from my photos, take a picture, add templates and stuff like this. Oops. I'm going to pick from an existing photo. I wonder if if it accesses my favorites. That's weird. I don't know what all these categories are. Did I already favorite these? There's one picture in particular that I'm looking for. So these are all pictures of Sri. What happened to it? I guess I'm going to look in the camera roll itself. It needs to be whether you can look at the favorites. So basically, what I'm going looking for is the picture I want to print. I'm having trouble finding it. Does this have like a reprint? I hate these user interfaces that every part of the area is scrollable and clickable. But that's the problem with these small phones. I guess these have been printed before. This one's I think that's the one I wanted. Yeah, so now that I have this, I can click connect and print. And this should make the print thing come out here. Do we lose audio? Nope. So that will start to develop. This will turn off. Looks like the battery needs to be charged on this. Printing is complete, it says. So we'll just let this, it takes about 2 minutes to develop. And I click OK on this, I think. Seems to have locked up. And then I can switch my phone back to Wi-Fi. It already did by itself. That's nice. So yeah, so this thing is already, you can see it's starting to develop. So what I'm going to do is just put this up somewhere, just so I'm reminded to think three-like thoughts, which are generally positive and, you know, kind of aspirational. So let me see. Done with that. So that's basically show and tell for today. This is going to continue to develop. I'll put this thing back. I don't know how much film is left in it. I think there's 3 left. That must have been what the dots were. They tell you how many pictures are left. Each cartridge holds 10. And it's about, depending on how many you buy at a time, it's between 70 cents and $1 per print, which seems kind of expensive compared to like a dedicated photo printer. But you know what? I don't need to deal with fricking ink drying out and wasting $70 at a time to print. Every time I want to print every 3 months. It's ridiculous. I've dumped all the inkjet printers out of my house. So let me go back to this chat mode. So now it's time to do some work. We'll put that there so we can just see how that's developing. You can see it's slowly developing. So let me get yesterday's chart. Let's stretch this thing out. And we'll do an update for work. Actually, it was up. I started work around 10. So let me just fill that in. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. Today is Tuesday, May 23rd. And what did I do today? Well, first let me copy over these things. I want to try to tackle at least one of these a day. And instead of worrying about finishing them, just spend a little bit of time on them. So that's Beverly's game grid. That's reading the era paper. That's doing the PCP hunt, primary care physician. That's the 2024 outcomes. I think one reason I don't start these tasks is because I know that they'll take more than like 5 minutes, but I'm not sure exactly how long they'll take. And so because of that, the uncertainty about the length of time makes me not want to start them because I'm not sure they're going to be done. One thing I had to really remind myself of is just to accept the small bits of progress. It's really hard for me for though. So I'll consider, these are frogs, I'll consider these the difficult tasks. Guardians of the Galaxy, I need to schedule that with Sid. I also might see if Sid wants to have lunch sometime. I think he's been very busy this week though. This is my photographer friend. So what did I do this morning? This morning I was mostly doing, let me see what I said in a work log over here on the chat. Work log. Let's see. Today is, I'm just looking over here. Oops. Having trouble finding the start of the day. I had morning coffees done, email responded. Oh yeah, okay, so that was right, and that was right around when? 11:30, it looks like I posted that. So everything before this time was like morning chores, that's feeding the cats, sweeping the living room with a little cat litter they tracked around, mopping a little bit because like they made a mess. I also replied to an email that had been sitting in my inbox for a while. And that's how I found out about that pivotal tracker to begin with. And what was the last thing I said I did? And reviewed it quickly. I thought it was cool. Cool enough to show over here. And then what did I do after that? And just like if you can see what I'm looking at work log here in the chat room. So like over here I'd written like at 11:30 a.m. I posted, I had done these things. And then I started prepping for this around noon. So this is probably chat stuff. This is prep for one. And this turned into like some significant chat server modifications. Update welcome, update chat server. So I renamed rooms. And then welcome text, changed that. Now it's 1:35. So what took up the time then? Actually, I think this went longer. I started this when? It's 15 minutes in now. It's 1:30. Yeah, so this actually went about probably to around here. So this is all one thing. This is recording. What's up, Dave? So you can see I'm reconstructing my day rather than starting with a plan because I just sort of jumped in and did it. Let's go back to Oxcam. So what do I want to really do today? Since these are all things that kind of happened. Well, morning chores. I'm filling these in from the bottom because these are sort of random things. Pivotal, email, read, plus review it. Chat room. Updates. Corey Wood. So the things I want to do on purpose today, this is, as it says here on my, this, like I want to merge node Durandal. Merge node Durandal. So there's some code there's some code that I need to move over. And once that's done, I'll be able to see what's next. And I can do that by checking our Trello board where we're maintaining our list. But maybe one of these frogs, I'm going to say eat a frog. Eating frogs has been very popular in the chat room lately. Yeah, let's say it's a 15-minute time block thing. Oops, I'm off screen here. What else do I want to do today? Let me look at my OKRs. Some of the weekly goal stuff. So I'll put that as a stretch goal. So this is what I'm working on, removing the Durandal from the step code base. Develop an idealized interactive design foundation. Look into making a really minimal static site mockup. Remove boxes from deep storage. Go through the DVD boxes. Game grid. Hang out with Sid. See this movie. Schedule a visit with Duncan. Information architecture and mockup for new site. I don't know which one. Because the moment I pick one, I'm going to decide not to do it and end up doing something else. That's the nature of being distracted. And yeah, but that might be an okay strategy. If I just write down something here and end up doing something else that's on the list, that might be just as good. So let's do the idealized. Interactive. I should have put that here, but that's all right. I left a little space in front here so I could do the check boxes. This is the finalized ETP design, which apparently is going to be ready to ship on Friday, not July after all. So that might be interesting. So that's today's. This one I can file over here. So, and then I can put this whole notebook away. Is there anything in here that I need to look at? Actually, I should print out the arrow paper too. It should be easy to do. Or one of them, these papers. I think, I'm not even sure that's really what it's called. Why is this camera not connecting? You need to figure out a way of like figuring out how to point these cameras a little bit more interactively. All right, so this is my ambition for today. That may not be enough things. Down here, I'll log stuff that extra things that happened in this space down here. So I think that's the day plan. The new binder is supposed to arrive sometime today as well. I wonder if it's already been delivered. Let me go check outside first. I don't think they dropped it off yet. UPS is delivering it. It's out for delivery at 5. Probably here around 3 or 4. No, I don't see anything yet. Oh well. This is a cool binder that Don mentioned that the civil engineers use to maintain their documentation. I'm very excited about seeing this thing. As you will be too, I'm sure. But anyway, that's today's, oh, well, I see something that, what did Courtney say? She said, we are using Smartsheet because it is simple. So what's Smartsheet? Smartsheet? Work management automation solutions. The leading SaaS platform for managing automated collaborative work. That looks interesting. Everybody uses the same Bootstrap template, it looks like. I wonder if it is using Bootstrap. Or it's like a similar... Is this Joomla? No, what is this? Look at all this. Minimized JavaScript. Smartsheet. Drupal. Oh, I didn't know that. It's been a while since I've seen a pretty Drupal sheet. Product Tue. That's interesting. It's kind of Gantt chart-like. No?
Share a sheet, the latest version is available. Collaborators can work together on a sheet at the same time.
How do they manage the... This seems like a pretty basic form-based approach.
You can set alerts.
And it's very modal.
Viewers or editors will be able to view information in the locked column or row and not make changes to send it up to anyone. The recipient can also ship attachments. For example, to clients without access to the sheet. You can send your entire sheet as an email.
I mean, this looks like a nice collection of functions. You know, what I miss in most application design is like this lack of the ability to correlate tasks with each other. So one thing that impressed me about this pivotal tracker thing, which is something I haven't seen, is they're using this left side as, it looks like nav, but these actually are toggles. So if I just want to see my work, I can click that and see it. But if I want to see my work with respect to like the epics that are defined or what got done, I can have these side by side. I don't know if I can move these. It looks like I can reorder these too. Can I put them up and down? Labels is a way of categorizing tasks. So this allows me to filter what I need to do quickly. And then the next thing you want to do is like see how well you can drill down. Oops. So I only have one thing here so far. Drilling down, this gives me a focused view of everything that's related to this user story. Create 1701 starting repo. I can choose the type. Let's type. The layout of this is really clean. I'm really impressed by this. And there's some opinions about what the best ways to do things are. Like I noticed as I was clicking around on this, there's a settings someplace. If I go to settings, there are things like Enable incoming stories. Plan current iteration automatically. But there's little things like you can just read more about them. Like there's something that it suggests not allowing points for chores. I don't know where that is though. I saw it somewhere. Project profile. I mean, it's nicely prompted. It's nicely decorated with like these things. You know, as opposed to something like target process. I don't know if I can show that. Or Jira. I don't want to go to that because those are private links. But anyway, I digress. I gotta shut this down now, and I gotta see if I can eat lunch and then do some work. So that's it. That's the What's Up Dave for today, Tuesday, whatever day I said it was, the 23rd. So thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good day.